electrical power generation, transmission and distribution, and on basic electrical engineering also. Sir has completed 3 dozens of technical projects in India and abroad. His 2 NPTEL videos are very popular on HVDC transmission and power system operation and control. Sir was the chairman IEEE UP section for 2013 and 14, IEEE Art and Asia Pacific Conference and technical seminar coordinator from 15 to 2018, IR10 vice chair and technical activities 2019 and 2020. Sir is presently Sir is the immediate past chairman of IEEE India Council. Dr. Sir is fellow of IEEE USA, FIET UK, FNAE, FIE, and FIETE, and many more. The legacy of Sir is many more, and we respect you, Sir, and we are so glad that you are here with us again. So I would like to request you to please guide us regarding the research projects and grant, which is the project, which is the topic, and so many people are from India, is really willing to have your blessing, sir. Thank you so much for joining, and please proceed the program.
Thank you very much. Good morning to all of you. I can see there are more than 130 people are joining this webinar online, and there are many students as well in this whole webinar, and many faculty members are also involved. So the title of this panel is the projects and its grant, research projects. So now the question always arises. I'll start with the questions: why to do the research? No doubt we are having the degree, we are having the knowledge. What is the need of doing the research? Really it is needed? People will say yes. So why? We are having the different category of people, and those are even attending this webinar. People see some people are doing the research to get the degree. For example, if you're doing a PhD or if you're doing a master's, so you are just doing something, basically you can through, and there are some requirement for doing the research. Many people, even though do the research to improve the career prospect. For example, you are a teacher, you are even the PhD, you are having a complete all degree, but still you do. So then why you are doing? It is basically, it is one aspect that's I want to improve, I want to go further high in doing the research. So it is basically the career prospect. Many people, they have reached very high also, they have reached their career peak, but still they do. And there is basically, they want to be recognized amongst their peers, amongst the other people, those are known, the people should know, oh, he is a good researcher. Oh, he is good in this one. So this, if you are developing anything and it is recognized, so the many people does, especially those are mature people, those have reached certain stages, they don't want degree because already they are having degree. They are already having the peak of doing the research. They are only doing the research for their recognitions. Even though many people don't want recognitions, I've seen many people, they do research for their own satisfaction. They say, okay, let us solve the problem of the humanity. Let us solve from the community. Let us solve for this one. And they still do the research. And the many people do the research to increase the business. For example, if you are going for a startup, you are going for even having even the medical, I can say COVID and other thing, all of which is happening across the globe. You see, people are having a lot of doing the R&D activities, doing the research to get the good money and good business. And that is also. And another set of people, but it is very limited, people, they do research for their fun only. And I found many, especially those are not having a basic education, they try, that's why not we can do this. They have something in their mind, why not we can do this one. I found that the many people, especially in the rural area, they are having some innovative idea and they do it for doing the agriculture, for doing the ease of work. And they're doing some sort of engineering and the innovations in that, and basically without knowing the complete knowledge. And the many more. So that we are having the variety of people and people are doing the R&D. I can say the research sharpen the thinking capability and the personality of an individual. So it is basically, if you are doing the research, it is basically your the thinking and, out of quick, that's we say the personality development, quick action, quick basically giving the response, that best also improves. Normally I tell to the students, you see, you are just a knife and it is not having sharp, it is basically useless knife in the beginning. But once you get the admission and we give something, you as you know, for the education, also we give the project, we are doing research. So this knife we are sharpening all the time so that it can do a better service, a better even the usefulness. So it is basically always, it will be improving. So always, what happens, this is we go for the education, for you are getting the admission in the BTech, MTech or PhD degree, you are getting the education, first degree you are getting. And along with that, you get the knowledge. And then after getting the knowledge, then we thought that why not we can have the skill, because the using of this knowledge to have something productive, something usefulness, to have something, to make something, to do something for society, humanity. And that is skill. But now the government of India in the new education plan, they are thinking education and should give the skill, not only knowledge. Now you can say, why this? What is the difference between the knowledge and skill? You can see a person who is in the village, he is very good in the engineering. He has no engineering degree, he has no diploma degree, but he is very good in skill to make anything. And we are having the knowledge and even the degree. And if I'll say, can you wound a motor? I can say, even the many teachers, many students, they cannot wound the motors. Having all the knowledge and degree, I can tell you, even though I cannot wound the motor. I know how many turns, this and that, calculation, what will the voltage, everything we can calculate. But doing the manually or making it, it is impossible. So that's why the skill nowadays, the governments are, even though every outside, basically if you find outside, even though getting the engineering, people go for the diploma engineering. Even though in Germany, they go for the diploma, then they go for this. Because they're doing the diploma, they basically get the more and more skill. And then they go for the knowledge, and that's why they are very successful in engineering, etc. So the research is the part of the life. And knowingly and unknowingly, we always do the research. Maybe in the technical field, we also do in the non-technical field. For example, if you'll see, even though I can say we are the human being, even the non-human being, always I say they also do some research with the experience. For example, if you are sitting in the, rectangle, you are in a house, and one corner you are sitting and put the food or something in another corner, or put an animal here, you will find it will go the diagonally. It will not go the straight to the one wall and to another wall. Why? Because that animal has not studied Pythagoras theorem. The Pythagoras theorem said that the addition of the two sides will be always greater than the another side. And you can say they follow it. We also follow. We also do all the time something here in the terms of the optimization, getting some optimal feasible solutions. And that is also some sort of research. So in terms of economy, in terms of sociology, so every area, it is there, not only in the engineering. Engineering has a lot of things where we produce the products and the output, and basically we solve the humanity problem. So the research are very required. Now the question is, what type of research? First, already I said it is a sharpening this one. So the type of research can be very fundamental and experimental. The fundamental research not only done by the physicist or chemist, or you can say the biologist, they basically do for they develop the theorems, they develop some of the concepts, and that basically the fundamental research. And many things people that is based on either experiments or based on something, so that's fundamental. But the many times, and I can say 80% and 90%, just I'll take. Okay, sorry. Yeah. So application oriented, we do the application because we are knowing the science, we know the background, we know the knowledge, but we want to use that one to make certain things that will be useful. It may be the process, it may be software, it may be hardware, it may be product, many types. That is the application oriented research we do. So normally it is based on the fundamental or application oriented. Now another is which area. I can tell you now the area research is not confined. That's in which area you have the degree. It should be going to the multidisciplinary research. For example, I'm an electrical engineer. You can see your induction motor where you are sitting, just see on top, that induction motor is running for more than 200 years. That induction principle has not changed. The synchronous machine has not changed. Transformer theory is not changed. So what is changed? So what we are doing in electrical engineering? It is basically, we are trying to minimize, we are going for the size. We are going for, so application of basically the ceramic engineering in terms of insulation. We are going for the application of mechanical engineering. We are going for the, even the aeronautics areas where we can design the blades and other things so that we can make more and more efficient. So the size can be increased and we can have the more economical output, efficiency can be improved, control philosophy can be changed. So many, this you can say, that even though electrical engineering, just where I belong, it is not only now electrical, we are going for the data science. We are going for artificial intelligence, that is computer application. We are using the communication system for making our system more smart and other things. So we are talking smart grid. We are talking about the mechanical engineering so that we can make our generators, our wind turbines, or the solars. That is so material science. All the things are basically now attached with the electrical engineering. So similarly, other areas too, that it is not in the core, you have to now think kind of, you have to broaden. So you can do the research in your area. It is a tough task nowadays because people have done a lot of research and people are, dying for the research. So now people have shifted for the multidisciplinary research and that people are doing. So this area of research is also important. Another, already said, based on your concept and theory, where you want to do, it may be the laboratory based, it can be computer based, and it can be mixture of that. And that best other people are doing. Even though nowadays people are not an individual, now in terms of the group, it is not an individual research now, it is also very tough and people are still doing, but now the government is popularizing that you should do the research in groups and especially in the outside the world they do. And that's why they are very successful in making the product. I have some expertise in one area, you have some expertise in another area, another one is other. So if you can meet together, we can give a better research and better product. But sometimes we say in India, it is the reverse one. Even though normally people say some proverb, if one Japanese and one Japanese, two Japanese will give the product of the 11. But if the two Indians will meet, so output will be 0. So that's altogether is a funny, but if you are having the matching people and working together, always the consortium-based research are very popular. Even though DST and Government of India is trying that we can collaborate with outside the world in the transferring of the technology and giving the knowledge. So the many projects and big projects, I can tell you, they are the international projects having the Indian consortiums, outside consortiums, and then we are coming together. So we are exchanging the knowledge. We are giving something. And I'm involved in the many international projects where even the DST, Department of Science, is giving the funding, where we are having consortium with the UK, European Commission, when we are having 150 crores project with the US. So it is big projects. Once you are coming, then you can give something better usefulness. Otherwise, you are doing just your area, you are doing 1 hour project, after that you will be exhausted. So that is also the consortium base. That is also needed, and it is basically needed. Now you can say, yeah, you are in the Sagar Institute of Research and Technology. So the search you are there, oh, how I can make the consortium? That's basically you have to talk to your mentor. He can include, so it will not only that it will be improving your knowledge, it will be also giving the visibility of the person. So sometimes we include, it is not only consortium of IIT together, it may be the IIT and IITs, maybe even the other state engineering colleges, etc., that can combine. So you will learn a lot from those consortiums. And normally that is needed at this hour. And I have even though done the project with the private, the Samrita University of Colum, we did one project with the DST and the European Commission. So it is possible, but you should be always very open. I'll talk what will be your quality of the researcher. That will be basically, that is a very important. Not only getting the project and then you can say, oh, I'll do it. I have an idea. Let's suppose I want to make a button here so that a person can fly and go to the moon. Idea is very good. Whether it is feasible, what are the things are required to make this? All the things you have to think. So the ideas may be the out of box thinking. That's true, I agree, and you have to. But you are having the knowledge, you have to see what will be the obstacles, what will be the methodology, what are the requirements, so that you can, what you are thinking, it is a feasible or it is a non-feasible, how to make it. If non-feasible, then why not we can have another solution, another technology for that. So the lot of things are basically you have a very out of open box thinking, then only the research will be done. It is not that the classical, you are reading the Kirchhoff's law, Volta's law, this and law. Okay, you are knowing this, but its application is very, very important. And also reading between the line, it's very, very important, I can say. Many a time, just you see, we are making the questions of the gate, and you can say it is not more than one-page solutions, and you can see your score. Why? Because the fundamental is missing. We slightly jump. We slightly go for the shortcut, so that I can cram this, and I can get the marks. So that is you are getting only degree, even though not knowledge. So you have to have a very, very creative, and the creative thinking is very, very important among our buddy young engineers, and that is missing nowadays. Because everyone thinking, oh, I'll get the job. Sometimes students even though say, sir, if I'll keep on thinking, then I'll be certainly failed in the examination. That's true. Because sometimes they will ask the big questions, and you are just keep on thinking, and finally in one question you are getting 0 mark. I'm saying you should have a good balance on that. I'm not saying that you should not study, you should not cram, you should not write. But at the same time, what we are doing, you are trying to ask several questions. Why it is happening? What is this? Why not this? All these questions, if you're asking, you will get the solution. Sometimes you don't get the solution. Then what you'll do, you may go to your teacher and you can ask. Teacher may also not be knowing, because nobody knows 100%. Then your Google uncle is there. So just you can Google it, you can get the solution many a times. And if you're not still getting, I can tell you, sit 5 people together, have a cup of tea, discuss the problem. And I can say at the end of that, you will get some concrete directions or solutions how to get it. And normally, many a times, you see the researches, even though see the surprises, you see the Archimedes theory, how he is found. You see the Galileo, James Watt, only this observing after that, why not they said, why can I make this? So you can say steam engine. So many, many things which is just they came is out of box thinking, and then you have to basically work on that. So it is another is the challenges in the research is the selection of workplace. Now workplace is sometimes it is having no choice. For example, you are getting your master's degree or doing some project in your search, you have no choice that you can do. But nowadays there are other choice. You go for interns, you go for some times you can collaborate with the certain teachers and go to work there. So the flexibility of the getting degree is fixed, but the flexibility doing research is with you. So having the choice, it is ideal case. If you are not having choice, it is a bad case. You have to do there only. No options to go here and there, no way to think. But always there will be certain scope for the choice, and try to even collaborate with the people, those are eminent in that area. Certainly there, even the 1 hour, 2 hour discussion will solve your many problems, which will be persist for many months, I can tell you. And that's why the selection of work. Another is, people say that once you have decided, now how does the research place matter? It is basically the existence of a research group. Sometimes we are having a very big, strong group. And in the group you are doing the research, it will be very, very good. Even our own PhD students or master's students, we are having almost the 50 PhD and master's students together, and they discuss, because suppose they want to use even the LaTeX, they want to MATLAB, he will sit together and 1 hour he will solve all the problem. So that is the group. Even the outside, always they are having the group, and they do, and they get the better one. So the research environment is very, very important. You should have a very conducive environment to do the research, because sometimes you are doing the research and you are not having a piece of paper to write. Your idea is gone. So all the things happens. So that's basically we require the research environment. And also it will be required the supports from the institutions, from your mentor, from this and that, and also the facility. So then you can do the research. No doubt once you're writing the research project to the government of India, wherever you want it, you are getting the money, but in that money also, even though your system should be so, smooth and easygoing and supportive, otherwise you cannot do. I know many state engineering colleges, they got the project and finally they returned the money to the funding agency, because that the persons, those are sitting there, maybe the finance controller, registrar, and maybe the director, and this one, many people, they are making a lot of rules and regulation in that. A person will say, oh, leave it. Because they are always trying how to buy even though a laptop, how to buy a computer, how to buy a printer. They were unsuccessful and finally they returned. So that system must be also very conducive and supportive to help them. They should follow the guidelines of the funding agency rather than your own rules. But of course, it will be approved. So the many a times I have found that this workplace is very, very important, and that should be very, very smooth and clear without any discrimination. So this your bosses, those are doing that, whether they are allowing that. So the research project getting maybe the easy, because nowadays the government is thinking that why not we can give to the other institution, why only IITs and NITs should get it. They are trying to give, but you should have this basics and you have to write the project in that way that will be convincing to them. And if it is they are convinced, certainly they will be giving some money to you to do some research. Another is, if suppose you are the students, you are the PhD, masters or BTech, sometimes your mentor is very, very important. Even though they are teachers, they can have the mentor from other institutions. Normally it is happening in the projects, so you can have the mentor. Mentor, maybe if it is a MTech and PhD, then we say guide. We can say if a BTech project, you say guide because the teacher there and you are there. So it is a guide or mentor. Mentor can be from anywhere. You can discuss with him and you can basically and try to get. Now the question again is start. Normally you write many mails to the very, very big professor. They don't reply because they are receiving thousands of mail from other sources as well. And they are also having the limited time. So don't think that they are on your toes and once you are writing and they will reply to you, it is not so. So for that, you have to first build up a good relation with him. You have to show something, you work and try to discuss. So he will say something interesting that only he will try to be included and he will be mentor you. Even though right now with this INE, National Academy of Engineering is having a lot of mentorship program for the teachers. And I can tell you, I was the sectional committee of electrical engineering. We were not getting the 25 applications even for the teachers. And they are giving even the 40,000 travel completely. They are giving money only for 2 months. You have to do. This year it is online. And I found this is the people are not writing. Simply you have to write to choose a mentor and you can go. We say, oh, what is the kya fayda iska hai? That we are saying, again, it is a shortcut. Kya fayda, kyun kare? So just fayda is in the very beginning, in the research, you are doing many years, there is no output. It may be zero. If you are fayda dekhna hai, tab to bhai chhod do, go for the business because you are selling today, get the profit by evening. So that is only you can do. But in the research, sometimes you just for the years, nothing. Sometimes for 1 month, you are getting good IEEE transaction paper or maybe patent. So it is basically, this is the research. You should be very constant. I'll be again talking what required in any researcher, but I always say your mentor is a very, very important, which can help. So mentor has also 24 hours. He has a family liability. He has where he is posted here, that is other technical and other, administrative liability. And also he has something else also. Because he will be collaborating with that. So you have to develop such a good relation. Still my students, those are there in the various IITs and NITs, we are still having jointly projects all the time. I talk on the phone that you can do this way and that way, and based on that they do. So that mentorship is also it is required, and you have to choose. So it is your mentor is a very, very. Sometimes it becomes your friend. Sometimes it's always you guide, even though not your technical and sometimes in personal life as well. He also helps in your personal life if it is possible and he has been capability. And that basically you can, in the research consortium, in that one, you should develop that. Because sometimes in the research, people say, professional, oh, I'm paying fees, he's teaching. Oh, master ji, kuch bhi nahi hai. The teacher is uski duty hai because I'm paying the fees. And after that, we are forgetting. But it is not. If you are having a close bonded, I can say, if you are having a good sincerity and honesty with your teacher, I'm sure he will help whenever required in all the aspects of your life. And that basically will. I can tell you only, I say, just you bow your head in front of 3 people. One is no Almighty, always we do. Second is our parents. And third is your gurus, our mentors, whatever you can say. And if you are just having these 3, I'm sure you will be successful in your life. You will be successful in your life. So these things are basically a lot of things, even though many mentors, give a lot of ideas, even though think this, but do it this. And that is basically required in the research. So it's a personal chemistry is very, very important. With even the product, with the guide, your students, or the project staff, that chemistry is very, very important. Now the Another question starts to people, yeah, which topic I should work? What I should write the topic for getting the funding, or writing even the projects, or writing the thesis, or maybe doing the research, whatever. So the topic is very, very important. That's the selection of the research topic. So what we do, how to get? One is you have to read many already developed technologies, or you can say papers, this documents, that theses and the reports, and then you can find your area. But this is a C, I can simply. These documents are in C. So you have to decide your area, and you have to read. By reading, you have to narrow down your area. Because suppose I say electrical engineering, it is vast. In electrical, I can say a power system. It is still very vast. In the power system, I can say, I am going in the power electronics or application, or maybe the, market, whatever you can say, operation, control, many things. Picked up some of the good papers and something, and then you have to say what is not done. So you should be very logical while reading. That is a what is this, why it is, and how it has been done, and why not this. So many questions I have to ask, and that you have to keep on noting. One thing I found in having the researchers, they are not very good in the writing. They read and finally they forget it, and that's a big problem. That is a big problem. Because in the researching, always you should have a diary, register, whatever you can say, where once you are reading, so some of the salient where you have read, because the later again, this mind is limited. And always humans are always a forgettable mind, always they keep on forgetting the things. So if you are forgetting, then again you will end up with this one. So it is better if you find something interesting, you try to note it down in your register. And the later you can browse. In the fraction of minutes, you can get, this paper, and then you can find and you can download. So to write the title, complete detail of the paper, of reports and other things, I write few things, what is inside and what is not inside. And that basically required for any individual to write and to decide the topics. Because the topic is very, because getting the research project is a topic based. The work you have to write, what you are going to do, what has been done so far. So this is a basis, then what new novelty, what value additions you are doing. So that is you have to basically, and that basically comes after reading and reading. Because sometimes you are thinking already it is done. So once you are just writing, the people say, what is the new in this? So they reject it. So you cannot get the projects for the funding. And also, even though sometimes your papers and your patents are rejected because it is having no value additions. Sometimes some small value additions is there. They say, it is not publishable because the value addition is very minimal. Addition is very minimal. So how to, again, in the reports also how to read. So what you do, you have to take the latest paper. And then from the latest, you can go behind. What was earlier, I can tell you, we were following the same philosophy, but right now it is not very important. Why? Because earlier we were not having all these things on the digital way. We were reading the magazines, we were reading the transactions, the proceedings, and then the latest, and then in that reference, we are going back and we are searching because the search options were very limited. But now, just put it in Google, you'll find, and take few papers of your area of interest. You see the references, go back and try to read. So you can have enough one, which is every time you're on your fingertips, which is there. And that is basically, that can be started. And also, you have to keep on meeting with your guide and mentors continuously where you are moving, what you are thinking. And that is basically, at least in the beginning, it is very, very desirable. Later, maybe you can meet not regularly, maybe meeting after a month or 2 months, no problem. But the beginning, you have to meet every weekly. And that is basically the part. So already I talked, this is about the selection. So you have to decide the area, and area can be decided by reading a lot of things, discussing with your mentors, guides, and also you can have regularly writing. Those things are very, very important. Many of the types are, research topics, government and the other, funding agencies, they see that, there is a UN Sustainable Development Goal, we say SDG. Sustainable goals are there, that is a 17 in numbers, and that is a focusing on the humanities. And these are the very broad area. But in that side, if you are adding the value additions to improve something, that will be the better. So that you can see, that's also, those are the things which is the need of the hour. And based on that, the policies of the governments of any government, not only India, even abroad also, they are decided. So what should be a characteristic of a good researcher? I can say he should be sincere and honest. Because sincerity is very important, honest. In your getting your degree, it is sincerity may not be very important. You can get the degree. Why? Because you see how many lectures you attend. Even though your teachers or your system will not pressurize you, you will not attend the class. You will attend only 10% or 20%. And I can say you can cram here and there and you also get the degree in by passing the examination. But in the research, the sincerity, suppose you are doing 1 week very hard work and after 1 month you are gone, everything will be zero again, you have to restart them. It is a very narrow area, not many things to cram and remember in your mind, but it try to be based on your practice, based on your experience. So that's the sincerity and honesty is very, very important in the research aspect. And there is no substitute of hard work in anything, whether it's hard work in your research, hard work in getting your degree, teaching, even though also I take the teachers. And I found for the teachers, those are listening here, it is the seed that those are good researchers, they are good teachers also. Now, sometimes the teaching is no doubt extempo. Teachers, sometimes I can say they are very knowledgeable teachers, or they are but unable to deliver properly to the student. Sometimes the students get confused, having more knowledge. Some teachers, I say, they are very good and systematically they explain this. But if a person is a good teacher, is a sincere, I can say he can be a good researcher also. Because he can give the delivery, he can explain the things, means his basic and fundamentals are very clear. And that is basically in the research which is important. And I can say you should be very ethical and moral value that is also required in any individual, which is nowadays missing in the most of them, I can say, our young minds. Because they say, oh, even though sometimes even though some teachers are bad also, they start commenting another thing that is not needed. Because, okay, this is his capability, he's trying his best, although he may be the frustrated because he didn't get job somewhere here and he's by compulsion, he's a teacher, or he by choice, that's all the things are different. So it is basically he giving you directions. The teachers are giving only directions and trying to solve your problem. And then you can, suppose you are not getting solution, now you are having other options too. Earlier we were not having the options. Another important thing is a good listener. I found that many of the researchers, they don't want to attend the webinars or lectures or the big people's lectures. They say, oh, I know this. I can tell you, each time an individual is speaking, the same topic, and you listen even to him, I can tell you, each time you will get the new things. And once you are listening properly, means you are listening here, means just you are trying to think your problem with what is there. It may be from your area. It may be not from directly linked with your area. But if you're listening that, for example, I'm listening artificial neural network or machine learning, or you can say blockchain algorithm. I can say, why not? I can apply in my area. And that concept is there, so you can try. So that a researcher should be a good listener and try to basically keep on noting it down, because once he has a lot of things in mind, always he forgets. So just note it down and finally you can browse it, you can get it. And he should be a good reader, keep on reading. And because I know the people can read a novel in the traveling of 4-hour or 5-hour journey, this thick book. But if I'll say, read this thick book of the electrical engineering, they will sleep and they will, I think, 1 or 2 pages only. So no doubt that will be interesting. It is not very interesting, but if you are reading a good technical books, I can tell you, you will be having more and more interest in that. If you're reading something like just a very normal book, certainly you will be frustrated and you will be basically, you will start sleeping. And always I say, you have to always argue logically, not absurdly. You have to logic and give the logic and discuss and have the acceptance. You are discussing something, you are giving your logic, somebody else is giving logic, even you have to also see whether your logic, your argue is correct or not. So the acceptability of that is also important. It is not that whatever I am thinking, that is final. Whatever logic I am giving, this is a final. No, you have to have a very acceptability, and at the same time you have to have your management of this arguing capability. Another is your passion. Passion is in the research, I can say it is a very bad. It is just like addiction. It is worse than having the alcoholic or smoking people. The alcohol and the smoke can be left. If a person is doing the research, really he is deeply involved, it is very difficult for him to leave. Very difficult for him. Because we are here, I can tell you, we never sit in the house with the Saturday and Sunday, I come in the office and do the research. So that is the addiction. And I'm not saying you go for the addiction, but you should have the passion. You should have the interest. And that is there, then you can say, yeah, I'll do. So that basically encouragement and the passion is required. And another very important aspect is the time management, because each and every individual has 24 hours. It is an animal or a human being, everything 24 hours. In 24 hours, you have many things to work. There are many things that are personal. You have to sleep. You have maybe your family liability. You may have your something other liabilities, many things. So you have to basically the time management. And the time management, the person who has managed the time, he has reached a very high in all the aspects, not only in the research. I can say if you are even the farmer, if your time is not managed properly, you cannot be a successful farmer. So the time management is very important, and you should stick with this. You should be stuck there. Suppose I'm saying that this work should be done by tomorrow, you should try that. Why not? It should be done today itself. You give the time to tomorrow. Think about that, but try to finish today. I've seen many people, the date is 1 month, so no issue. And what happens once time has come, he becomes, let's suppose, sick. Then it's gone. So the commitment. And once you are committed, you try to deliver and try to do beforehand. And that's basically required of any individual to do the research. And yeah, that is not only research in all area, I can say. That is basically needed. And finally, you should see your health. Health is very important. And always you should be sporty, and you should have the smile face. I always tell to my, whenever I give the talk, I say, there's the two very powerful words out there I heard somewhere. One is a silence, another is a smile. Both start with the S. And these two things don't require any energy, even though they give the energy. So if you are smiling, so people say the silence avoids many problems, and smile solves many problems. So why not these two? Even though all people, even though I found many girls, they are just shy. Just a smile, I can say you see the glooming of your face. So that basically, that should always have in your mind. Why to worry? No doubt, I can say the problems are there, and each individual has a problem. It is not only you. Maybe your problem is smaller than others, but in that, if you can do, you do. You can solve the problem. If you cannot do, so then why not? So the silence and smile is very powerful words, and try to adapt in your life, I simply say. And you will see the change. You will see the change. So that way, basically, I say the health is also important in your life, and that is you have to say. So another requirement of the researcher is that he should believe in himself. You say, yeah, you can do it. I found many people that are nature yoga. You have not tried. You have not even though gone through deeply, and that is when you have given up. So that's you have to believe you can do it. And if that belief is there, you can reach, maybe output will be not there, but at least you can reach very near to that. So you have to basically have all these things in your mind. Another important of the researcher is having the good observational skill. Good observational skill. For example, even the sitting in train, you'll find, oh, why this is having the two holes in the electrical? Why it is going there on the one single wire on the train catenary? I'm talking electrical. So you have to be even mechanical, civil, wherever you see, and you try to say why it is happening. I know many people, I ask why 5 holes or 3 holes in the plug, people are unable to explain properly. And which is the daily life, which is surrounded by where you sleep in the house, you know. How a tube light basically looks, why it is glowing. So observation is very small, I'm talking. Similarly, once you are going for anything, whatever the results are coming, if you are not having observational skill, you are having a huge data, you are having huge information, you are having huge knowledge, you cannot come with the certain usefulness of those things. So that is the observational skills along with the logical thinking. Based on that, you can do a good research that is needed. So that is basically one of the important. Now, again, you have to see, suppose you cannot do the big research, you have to do the research for your societal problem, where your institute is there, community's problems. You can make something so that it is that is also engineering and technology applications. You can do certain sort of the innovation. And nowadays, the government of India, even the world has recognized the frugal innovation of our country. Frugal means आप जानते हैं जुगाड़ की engineering, and that is very common in our country. You see, many, even though illiterate peoples are doing the frugal innovations. You have the knowledge. Based on that, you can very easily do the frugal innovations. That is basically solving the problem of humanity. Deprived people, those are unable to access. So many, many things you can do. And these are the basically, and in this COVID-19, as you know, already a lot of distress, a lot of, depressions, a lot of even the other things you have gone through this heavy stress. That is no doubt, it is a very, very bad. So the funding agencies as a concern, that's a lot of funding agencies are given, and one is the Department of Science and Technology gives even the funding in all the areas of engineering and technology they give. There is another, the Indo-German Science and Technology Forums. Various forums are there, various collaborations, Indo-Canadian, Indo-US forums, Indo-German forums. They are also giving the projects and funding, huge funding. So in that only condition that you should have a partner in that country. So the both countries come together and then they can write the proposals. Normally, all the time you can go to their websites, you can find it. So the various like Indo-German, Indo-UK, you are having the Indo-US, they are having the various scientific and technological forums in that they are also funded. So that you can also write. The CSIR, DSIR, your ARCT, UGC, even the DRDO, SAC, many other things are also, even the BARC, they also give the funding in the different area, but they are having the limited area of the research. In that only they fund. But the many other things which I mentioned earlier, they are giving. Many of the state governments are having already the research councils. They support a smaller amount of money and the innovation. The central government ministries are having, they are giving the supports like Ministry of Power, Ministry of, you can say, Education and Society. So many ministries are also environment, renewable energy. So they are also giving a lot of projects and in that one. So the central government ministry, state government is having a dedicated council in each state, they are also giving. And also there is always open to go for the industrial projects. So they can have the collaboration, you can solve their problem, you can basically take their data and do something R&D. So the industrial sponsored project. They then support some of the employee or some of the even the research scholar or maybe the research associate or something. Another is you can do the consultancy projects. Consultancy projects, basically you have to solve the problems, which is, or you can have some of the guidance and other things you can check, or you can do some duty in terms of the consultancy projects also, and that you can do. So the lot of things are there in this aspect, and I can say the lot of funding opportunity, but you have to extract, and it is not getting so easy also, I can tell you, that you write whatever you want and you can get it. You have to see the theme. Once the calls are there, you have to keep on visiting their sites. Once calls are there, you have to go for in that theme and make certain things very useful, and then only you can get the funding. So these are the various funding agencies. So it is going to be almost 1 hour. So I'll say at the concluding remark that the carry out research as a passion, not as a pressure. The publish and produce or file patent of your work as quick action as possible, because now the research, many people are doing the research together, and it is possible that whatever you are thinking you are going to produce, already it is published or patented somewhere. So whenever you are having something output in your hand, you should not wait. You have to go for either publishing or the patenting also. Sometimes you should be very careful about the wrong and unethical claims. I found many of the people, they are claiming too much, and that finally it's totally wrong. So once you are claiming, sometimes, oh, it is a novel, it is innovative, it is new. People say, what is new? What is innovation in this? What is novelty in this? So that's once you are claiming, you should be very careful in that. And the time management, as I said, everyone has a 24 hours, you have to time management. Sincerity and hard work, I say there's no shortcut in the life, whether it's a research, teaching, or any professor, even though sometimes your relation with your family and other things, no shortcut. You have to have some hard work and sincerity. Develop a conducive environment for the research and consultancy that is needed. So the institutions should provide certain platforms, certain things so that people can, even though they should be encouraged, they should be given some incentive. They should be, for example, one teacher who is not doing research, another is doing research. Now question is, he's a sponsor. He's not getting any extra money, but he's killing his time. So how he will be, why he will be doing? At the end, he'll say, "Chodo yaar, jane do, teaching hi to karna hai, I'm not going to become Einstein." So something, the encouragement, certain incentives, certain should be given so that people, those are, even though, having huge inertia to do anything, that will say, hey, he's getting more. Lot of, even though we are having the chair professors and other things funded by the various, even the donors. So if you are not giving, you can invite certain your alumnus, etc. They can support. You can give even the piece of paper. You can recognize that person who is doing good research on your website for few days or few years. So many, the incentive schemes are very, very important to ignite the researcher. And I can tell you, once he will be ignited, it cannot be stopped. Nothing to do, he will keep on doing. So always you should be updated with the new technologies. That is important. So the change yourself in the upcoming technology, be updated all the time, and I'll say solve the problems, many problems, using the frugal innovation. That is the technology for humanity. So with this, it is going to be one of our, thank you very much for giving me time to sharing my ideas. I hope it is, you liked it. If you're not liked, no doubt, but certainly some people have liked it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Singh sir, I'm Dr. Shefali Jain. Dekha aapne mujhe?
Yes, I can see you.
So thank you so much. Sir, thank you so much. Beautifully, you have covered all the small things about research, researcher characteristics, mentor, time management. Okay, what we have to take care of. Or let me tell everyone about one thing. This panel discussion was not going to be possible without Singh sir. I just called him once. मैंने सिर्फ एक बार phone किया sir को कि sir I'm just going to organize one panel discussion on research grants. So I don't have any eminent speakers. Can you help me out? So sir gave me number of Rana sir from Amity University. I called Rana sir. He also readily agreed for the same. So from the bottom of my heart, I would like to thank Singh sir and Rana sir for the same. So now I would like to welcome Rana sir for the presentation. We have already given some panel discussion questions to Rana sir as per his request. So before going for that, I would like to tell Neeti ma'am to just give brief intro of Rana sir.
Thank you, ma'am. So I would like to welcome Ajay Rana sir. Sir is an educationist, teacher by heart, an innovator, strategist, and a committed philanthropist with deep organizational ethics, equality, and holding hands of every individual who wish to succeed in life as the core of his life philosophy. His area of interest includes machine learning, Internet of Things, augmented reality, software engineering, and soft computing. He has 60 patents under his name in the field of IoT, network, and sensors. He has published more than 271 research papers in reputed journals like ACM, Springer, Elsewhere, Taylor and Francis, and others. And the international and national conferences. He has co-authored 8 books and co-edited 36 conference proceedings. Professor Rana is chairman of AUN Research Labs, executive committee member of IEEE Uttar Pradesh section, senior member of IEEE, and life member of Computer Society of India and IST. He is also the member of editorial board and review committee of several journals with an intent to provide a robust learning environment to his students. He has visited many top universities and colleges, which have a legacy of more than 1200 years of producing leaders on the global front in entire Europe, UAE, UK, and Asia. He has undertaken 36 sponsored research projects and 9 major projects, system-based management HRD consultancies in a number of reputed organizations, both public and private in India and the abroad. 18 students have completed their PhD under him, and currently 8 students are working on their doctorate under him. Sir has organized more than 500 conferences, workshops, faculty development programs, seminars, and talks sponsored by IEEE, Springer, CSI, and many more others. He has been conferred with honorary professorship from ULab, Bangladesh. Dr. Ajay Rana has been honored with numerous awards and recognition for his extraordinary work in the field of education and research, including Corona Warriors Award 2020, Lifetime Achievement Award, Frontiers of Knowledge Award, Man of Academic Advisory Award, Icon of Healthcare Award, Med Achievers, Leadership Award, BRICS, MSME, Most Influential 100 Directors of India, Educlusion Award, Singapore, IT Next CIO, International WHO, WHO USA, Italian Machine Tool Technology Award, Italy, and many more. Presently, Sir is working as Dean in MET University, Uttar Pradesh, Noida. He is also Director, MET Institute of Information Technology. He is also owns the additional responsibility as Senior Vice President, RBEF Restaurant. He is a part of Board of Directors and also serving as advisor to the management of MET Group. He is the member of Consultancy Group NEP 2020, CBSE Ministry of Education from Government of India. He is also the director of Rajasthan Asset Management Cooperative Private Limited. Sir, your resume is really very inspiring for many of us. So kindly bless us and our audience for the subject. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Professor Niti. First of all, I give my regard to our Honorable Professor S.N. Singh, sir. And I am here due to the gurus like Professor S.N. Singh, sir. And according to his words, three main important, you down your heads with respect to three persons across the globe. The first is the Almighty God. The second is the parent, and third is about the guru. Whenever I see Professor S.N. Singh, sir, I always remember the one word. The word is that Guru Gobind Dahu Khade Kake Lage Paaye Balihari Guru Aapne Guru Gobind Diyo Bataye. So that is my regard to Professor S.N. Singh, sir. Esteemed management of SIRT Group, my colleague Dr. Shefali Jain, who provide me this opportunity, Honorable Director of SIRT, Dr. Rajiv Srivastava, other esteemed professors, those who are present on the forum, researchers, and my dear students. It's my honor to be the part of that consortium where I share my views in front of my guru as well as other eminent speakers. I received a lot of questions from Dr. Shefali Jain with respect to research grant, how that we will approach to the industry and the corporate as well as the government agencies for the projects. Before sharing my presentation, I belong to private institution. When I joined MET at that time, we have only 32 students. I repeat, only 32 students. Right now, we have around 1.75 lakh students across the globe. So I'm with MET for last more than 20 years. We have faced a lot of challenges. Sometimes we face the tag name of that we are the private, and sometimes we face the tag that what type of projects you have. But slowly, we have approached to the various agencies, the government as well as the corporate world, and we are able to receive more than 700 crore funded with respect to different universities in MET Education Group. I'm here to share some insights to how the researcher may approach to the corporate as well as the government agencies to convert your idea with respect to the great reality. My dear professors, we are not the person who have a second option debate. No one give a chance to become a good IT professional, but we are gurus, we are teachers who produce all CEOs, CIOs, prime ministers and president and the global gurus. So we are the torch bearer. We are the person who create the leaders. So I'm so proud that I'm the part of this education fraternity when I start my career. I need the permission to admin so that I will share my presentation. Ma'am, is my slide is visible? Dr. Niti, I need your help. Is my slide is visible to all?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, visible. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Professor Niti and Dr. Shefali Jain. So I received the topic from the esteemed professors from your institute, that is significance of research project and grant. How that it's key ingredients with respect to the current scenario. And my dear, all those who are attend this seminar. These are the insights. Dr. Singh sir gave a lot of things, and sir has itself an institution. Sir has covered entire topics. My request to you that I convert all these in a PPT so that this you have the written material for your ready reference. The first is about the research project. There will be a log of insights of the sections to make attendees about the significance of research and the research projects. There is a myth, I repeat, there is a myth that only the government institutions are able to take up the maximum projects. My dear friends, I quote that your approach is wrong at that time. Government, we always respect the government institution and the government agencies. They work as per their system, as per their protocols. So we should change our strategy, we should change our approach and respect that agency so that they are able to invite us, provide the opportunities to defend our ideas in front of them. So let us have a quick understanding about the fact, about the research projects. So why? What is the importance? Why all private institutions move towards research and innovation? Because everyone wants that they will be the one of the best institution, not only in their local region, in a state, but across the country. Some private universities, their aim is that they will approach to the global country. And if you are not with a part of that research and grant, the accrediting agencies always check your capabilities. Here, your means your university, the capabilities of your manpower, professors, the faculty members, the students, those who are your products. They check with respect to different sectors, and they give a ranking that you are stands on so. So as per the National Assessment and Accreditation Council, NAC, the manual of the self-study report, criteria number 3, dedicated to the research innovation in the extension with a special mention of the funded research project. And this is a fact. Maximum marks, because this criteria, it is our responsibility that we will provide the good education. That's why UGC or some other agencies believed on that particular management. Okay, we are authorized you to give the degree. But we are also authorized you that where you stand with respect to your competitors, with respect to the other universities. So this NAC, and same is about some other agencies, academic ranking of the world, universities, WEST, NIRF, the world north and east, 2 best ranking across the globe, the world university ranking and the QS world university ranking. In the current scenario, whenever you see the latest advertisement of various universities, you will find that the big poster, and they said QS so and so ranking, QS 4-star ranking, QS 5-star ranking, NIRF ranking, NAC A++, or the first name of that university. So if your plan, your vision be the one of the best university across your region and across the state in India, you must think beyond the boundary and your main focus towards research project and grant. Amount, I repeat, amount does not play a very important role. Sometimes some persons said that we have received the amount of around suppose 50 lakh or 1 crore. I am the witness and I received the first time amount is only $300 by the SAIF, Student in Free Enterprise from UNO. That amount does not play a very important role, but the agencies plays a very important role. So that is your thinking that the agency name is that agency, is that approval agency is interested to become your partner? And after that, is it about the win-win situation? So that's why a lot of private as well as the government institutions approach and main focus on this. And the more important thing, lack of the good research project is one of the key reasons why Indian universities lag in international ranking. Our top IITs, our top NITs, our top IIMs, or some other institutions, why we are not in the top 100. There are the various parameters. I'm not touch here with the various parameters. The Facebook, Elon Musk, Infosys, Cognizant, Minda Gate Foundations, and many others. MIT, you know that Sun, Stanford University Network at that time, they are the consortium. Sir has touched the word consortium. Yes, that plays a very important role. How to synergy among the different institutions. So that's why our not a single Indian university or institute be in a 2-digit ranking across the globe. And that's why that we are not in the top one. We, the universe, we like Indians, C, C++, Java, and many other languages developed, or Python, developed by some small countries. But as an Indian, we are not able to a single language. Honorable Professor Hasan Singh sir touched the one very important point, to design a motor or make a motor or electrical engineer or the computer science professionals. So as a teacher, our responsibility is not to deliver the lectures, but our responsibility is that we should justify ourselves with respect to our organization, with respect to the society, and with respect to the nation. That is our responsibility. Some critical observation, I'm here to touch few things from our side that you must be aware, and you must be aware about all these things. As per the Indian funding, the science and technology through the government research and funding agency, only 0.6%, versus China is 2.1%, and in US is 2.8% of their GDPs. That is about the government involvement. We are very big nation. We are number 3rd and number 4 with respect to populations across the globe, or the revenue wise, but our population in the area is very big. So for GDP point of view, that is the main focus by the government. 35% of overall research investment in India, and that is a very, very important line for all my research and professors. 35% overall research in India as a private sector, as compared to 87% in China and 68% in US. So change your mindset today onwards. Approach to the corporates. I'm the part of the Rajasthan Venture Capitalist Fund, where we have a corpus of more than 1,000 crore to establish the companies in the RICO and other funds. It is up to you. Move forward, present your idea, noble idea, and we are able to fund you. So that is your thinking that you approach to the government institution. In India, we have lakhs of companies, and they have 2% CSR fund. But approach your idea with respect to that. The most important thing with respect to all my research scholars, and I'm 100% agree with all words what Professor Hasan Singh said, and that is very alarming. We are made focused that produce the papers, but the scholarly citations for Indian researcher is concentrated at the bottom. Only 61% of the articles with no citation, I repeat, no citations, and 85% are less than 1 average per year. So that is about the some critical observation with respect to the research. And you must aware about all these facts. So let us gain some insights related to the research project and grant and the key component needed to take in the consideration for writing the same. You should aware about, you should know about what is the ticks and tacts to file a project. So the meaning with respect to the grant can be easily predicted from its name, means a corpus or a grant that funds research. It becomes more complex when the type of research, the duration of the research, and the associated condition when brought into consideration. Like there is a marriage between two parties. So there is a collaboration between the two different agencies. So research grant is made available by the various institutions to help fund research efforts made by individuals, universities, and other groups like consortium. So it is up to you, your approach, how that you will approach with respect to various agencies. Various steps that you must remember for writing a research project or grant. First important thing, know the funding body focused area. It is our response. Why you approach? It is not up to that you write a project and send your project proposal to any funding agency. Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be bad. They blacklist you. They blacklist the university. They said, okay, we have received thousands of projects from same university. In that particular point, some projects are good and some projects are useless, where some projects are extremely good. So that agency was not focused on that university. So it is our responsibility before filing any project, you should know the funding body, their focused area, their integrity and integration. Now, interdisciplinary too, like biotechnology. There is a link of biotechnology in the front end. The back end is computer science, electrical, mechanical, and many others. So do not worry about by the name. Approach them about their vision and mission. So it is your responsibility first. Know the funding body's focused area. Second important point, know their criteria for assessment. Please, many of the researchers send their papers to them, send their articles to them. And after they realize that that scheme is only and only available for some professors or some group of institutions or some regions or some eligibility. I will talk to in the coming slide about the eligibility assessment by the government agencies or the private agencies. So you should know about their criteria, about their eligibility. So that is the second point. Third point, the most important. Now you are approached and you are approached them for grant. It is our responsibility that we respect them. Follow word by word instructions. If they said 200 to 500 word, means your project summary or title or entire project, that must be 200 to 500 words. So follow their instructions as per their project's requirement. Justify your credibility or as eligibility as the principal investigators. I request to you, why a lot of other universities, why not a good IAS, why not a good vice chancellor that was retired from government of India, why the good teacher and retired from any good reputed institution, why the government of India take care about the major journals or Army, Air Force retired officers, so that they become the governor ambassadors of our country when they are retired. Why the government focus on these? Now I request to you, before filing any project, the PI and co-PI, their background must be strong, must be strong. And always take not only PI and co-PI, PI, co-PI, and means 2 or 3 co-PI as well. But the profile for that person very strong. That's why many private universities take care about the professors, those who are retired from IITs or NITs or IIMs, and they will become the vice chancellor for many top private universities. Why? Because they have experience, they have a credential, they have a name. And these institutions are national repute institutions. Same is applicable to Indian project. The PhD is not that from where you take your PhD degree. The PhD degree by the professor guide name, who was your mentor, who was your guide. The same is applicable to the PI, co-PI, so that everyone wants to see the name of that person. Choose your best team to do the project. It is your responsibility to invite some freshers, some middle workers, or some the top person. Make your team. I'm the chairman of Unresearch Lab. I have more than across. I have opened the request to across the globe. I have around more than 17,000 professionals. Those were the part of this Unresearch Lab. In my research lab, we have 38 core team members. Those who will take care about different sectors. And after that, we will approach to the corporate and the government that we approached them for the funds. And during this pandemic, I received around 3.75 crore funds from government as well as the private institutions. So make your team, make your best team. Identify all these persons within your organization or the persons from near and dear other universities. Carefully, sir has mentioned about sometimes the government or the private agencies have proposed the budget, have sanctioned the budget, but you are not able to utilize that fund. Like the government of India sanctioned a lot of funds to the states, but they return back to that state that we are not able to find such area. Same is applicable to us. Please carefully propose the budget plan. And the last one is about write in a clean and the coherent manner your project to the point. If you have some point, if you have some issue, take the help from the mentors. You are easily identify the name of top persons, top professors from their websites. You write some letter, some email to some networks. So that is a request to you that these are the initial steps that you must take care about before writing any project. I received a lot of questions from Dr. Shefali Jain. So I have made my presentation according to them. I'm open to all the esteemed attendees. If you have any question, I'm 100% take your points after my presentation. But how to start writing the projects? That is a very important thing. That is with respect to project, with respect to patent, with respect to grant. First and most important thing, selection of topics. My dear friends, this is the one and the most important thing is that whenever you file any project, the project was not screened by the chairman of that committee. The project is screened by the clerk and the lower level person of that organization. And they have bonded with the two things, topic and the second one is about the title of the project. I request you that your selection of topic is something new. Whenever you take a selection of a topic, take the help of Dr. Google. But before selection of the topic, not only 100 times, But thousands of times you spend your time, you take the help of Trinity, you take the help from other agency, the softwares. The topic is unique. And on the same second point, when the selection of topic is new and novel, then the title of the project. After that, there are some key questions. What is that key questions? Please go through the guidelines of that project. When the projects may be available, please go through the key questions, the target. They're the two important things, goal and aim. Goal, take the example of the football match. Goal means there's a no foundation. You take as many as goals you want, 10 goals, 5 goals, 1 goal. But aim is victory. The aim is only and only for victory. So you must aware about what is the key questions behind this project. As per Honorable Dr. S.N. Singh sir said that what is new and novelty? Think around many projects, around 90 to 95% project may be failed. They are not accepted at all. You are not expert. The funding agency also expert. They have the outsourced that screening process to the some other agents, some experts, some chairmen, and they are gurus in their field. So you have something new. During this pandemic, I have filed around more than 60 patents. Why? I have idea. I have full time. Same with respect to novelty or new. What is the significance? Significance to you, your colleagues, your university, nation, system, or society. The next important thing, because the grant may be depend on the outcome. What is the outcome of that project? What is the outcome of your proposed concept? Okay, that you are complete that project, but what is the outcome of that project? Identify the focused objectives. It is your responsibility to identify the objectives with respect to the funding agency, the comfort zone with respect to you and your organization. And the last one is need to differentiate between the work component, study design, and the various objectives. You are able to differentiate between all these things. So these are the basic points that you are able to identify all these things from different social media networks. But we as a MIT make a one guidelines and we pass these guidelines to all our professors and faculty members. Before writing any project, these are some topics, and our screening committee, before filing that project to any government or the other agencies, these are the things that you must remember. But first, be a critical thinker. These are the points that is applicable to all. You follow all these points, but the important point on this, my slide left-hand side, be a critical thinker. The sir said, whenever you attend a same presentation, 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time, there may be every time you will learn a new thing. The same is about be first and be a critical thinker. I'm not give the more focus about all these things, but the first thing about the need and the focus of your research project. Same topic, the same committee maybe decide all these things. They have a basic guidelines. Before go with any detailed project, there is a summary. Like a movie, whenever any big producer or the director launch a one movie, why they give a one trailer? And they are launched these trailers across the social media. Same, your projects move by the name of topic, the title, and the abstract. If the committee member, if the professors, or the member of expert committee, if they are keenly interested, then they request, okay, please send us the entire project. We are keenly interested to listen that. Means keenly interested to read that project. What your hypothesis? Because yes, I know that you have idea, but how you convert your idea into a ground reality or a prototype? Yes, they are ready to invest that amount of money on you. Our honorable former President of India, Kalam Sahib, you know that, ask the question from the ISRO team, ask the question from their research colleagues. He is a person who always accept the challenge by big heart or courage. Whenever he design the Agni 1, Agni 2, and Agni 3, lot of failures, but he is a person who always move ahead. No, I'll take a challenge. Elon Musk, whenever the space agency launch the space satellite, the concern is that the rocket come back the same platform. $1 billion that may be spent on this. That's the idea, accept it or not. Same is about the Henry Ford, who make a revolutionary change in the automobile industry, who make a system. No, there is no proprietary about the engines. And that's why a car, the tire made by some other party, seats made by some other party, engine made by some other party, mirrors made by other party. You are not able to see a single ad from Ferrari, but you see a lot of ads from Maruti, Ford, Hyundai, and many others. So it is up to you how that you are ready to change the entire system. These are the most important of the method, qualitative or the quantitative or the both. But the most, once you have answered these questions and identify your needs and focus, and you can bring writing the grant proposal. When the Edison Thomson's invention single bulb filament, he was failed around 999 times. The last was succeed in around thousands of times. When someone asked the question, so that you have the failed 999 times, he said, no, I'm not failed, but I give the experimental results that you are not able to make a filament with these 999 different elements. So I request to you, my dear friends, I request to you all, your idea may be novel. Must remember that idea that you are not filing a project only one agency, but that is your name, your brand name, your image, and above them your institution and the organization name. Here I request all the institutions, those who are part of this seminar, you make a one committee who analyze these things before sending the project to directly to the government and the private agencies. So discussions with respect to write a project, feasibility of implementation of the grant, like in software engineering, whenever you make any project, we have a feasibility study, SRS, designing, coding, testing, implementation, maintenance, because I'm the part of the software engineering. So feasibility of the implementation of the grant. How, and the next, do you met the criteria? Okay, only on virtual, but you have a resources, you have a lab facilities, you have a infrastructure, you have a research disciplines. So before filing any project, you should discuss about all these things. And is proposed outcome achievable? That you have proposed around 2 or 3 outcomes. Is the proposed outcome achievable or not? So there's a one brainstorming with respect to all the professors and the chairman of that organization before sending the project to any agency. Type of grant proposals. Now the trend may be changed. You should identify that what about your target. In the current scenario, we are not in the private sectors. We are not able to stop our faculty for more than 2 years to 3 years. The same is with respect to government. The funding, if your project cost is, I repeat, if the project cost is less than 39 lakh 999, sorry, 9,999, that project may be approved by the director. There is no screening, there is no further call, but that person may be satisfied. But the duration is not more than 2 years. If the cost is more than 40 lakh to 60 lakh, then the same other person may be authorized to categorize or analyze this project. If the cost is more than 70 to 1 crore, there is something other person where they invite the persons to present their presentation in front of the consortium, in front of the esteemed panelists. If the cost is more than 1 crore, they always restrict it up to some renowned institutions. So national level, same 3 years. So 3 years, except this BIRAC grant for 18 months only. Companies, the corporate world, set the target for the financial years for 1 year or 2 years, like the basic research, applied or transactional research, medical, biological research, because they are related to about the current scenario. Social science and the humanities, law, clinical trained grant, and many different types of the research. The duration is not more than 3 years. All biological, all biotechnical projects, you should focus only and only for 3 years. Those who have around 3 to 5 years, the projects like Indo-foreign projects, I think I have already Professor S.L. Singh sir covered all these things like Indo-US, Indo-UK, Indo-German, Indo-Japan, Wellcome Trust, BRISC, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, European Grant Commission, NIH grant, workshop grant, and this the AMBO and the Welcome, because they have the CSR fund. They have a fund that they are ready to spend entire money with respect to the society or the system. That's why they take a long term. That's why they take a long 3 to 5 year duration. Maximum projects in this category that the government of India or the government agencies only and only funded by the name of renowned eminent professors, Nobel laureates, or the government institution. So as a private, we should focus only and only 3 years, less than 3 years, 1 year to 3 years. That is my request. Preparation for writing the grant proposals. Now, study the literature, your survey work, publication, penetrating to your area of interest, generate your idea or theme to your projects. So these are the five different boxes that you should remember. All these things that must be in your mind. Do not compare patent and project. You have an idea, go and approach to the agency. They convert your idea into the patent. But projects, literature survey plays a very important role. How the other researchers, how the other colleagues they have worked in the society, how the other agencies, corporate or the private, they have worked with respect to that system. So that a literature survey plays a very important role. So write the next important thing. These are some important things. Title, concise, focused but sufficient to understanding. Abstract or summary, you will find all these guidelines as I have mentioned that follow the guidelines. Summary or abstract, not more than 200 to 500 words. Sometimes I realize that summary is around 2 pages. Be focused. Be focused about all these things. About introduction, about novelty, key question, hypothesis, what do you wish to achieve? And the most important is SMART. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Write this SMART on the whiteboard. You will find on my whiteboard the SMART word is there. When I find any project that is a specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and the time bound. So feasible questions, scope, time, and budget. So these are the different things. These are the guidelines that every time that they have follow. We should follow all these guidelines as per the agencies. Must remember that the objectives are not methodology. And always take 3 and 4 objectives to be developed. Main goal that you are planning to achieve, not only one objective. Be ready. Be ready that if that maybe fail, then go with the other. Our parents earlier said that do not move in the 2 boats. Now I said that move around 10 boats. If one may not workable, take the another boat. So always specify not only one strict objective. If you are Nobel laureate, you are a professor, you are eminent professor, government are recognized you, accept you, respect you, that was a secondary thing. But if you are a new, always take 3 to 4 specific objectives to be developed. So methodology means, I have covered in the previous one, but methods are comprehensive and appropriate. It includes who, what, when, where, why, and how. Make a team. Who all are responsible for different tasks. If you need some IT help or make some mobile app, then how you are able to take from the help of the computer science, take the help from the electrical department or the mathematical department, cross-sectional and longitude studies. We are the teachers. That jugaad or the farmers or some other person, they are skilled manpower. You go with the Australia, you go with about this UAE, you are find around the persons who are passed out from 10th and 12th. They are skilled manpower. We are not skilled manpower. We are professors. We are teachers. That is not our territory. How to, like, there's the one word, abstraction and encapsulation. As an engineer, as a teacher, my aim is to how to drive a car, not how to manufacture a car. Now you take the help from other experts as per your area of interest. Please open your mind. Please open your working culture. Assign. Always take a risk to make some other person be responsible. Participants, materials to be used. So you should, that is one big strategy, big methodology that you should project in front of the experts. Always sample size, background means survey, ethical approvals, tested, or questionnaires, demography, facts, figures. You have the entire details of these things. Here I have the entire detail. Idea, no. Project, patent is a different, but idea, if you have any idea, check that idea is novel or not. So these are the different methodologies. Anticipated results and their significance. I'm not touch all these things with respect to here, like about the primary or the either pilot study, make a prototype, make a study, or impact on your project by the different outside parameters. The most important thing is that about the proposed budget and proposed timeline. Honorable Professor Hassan Singh sir just touch these 2 things. So I escape all these things. Proposed budget, the most important thing, that your project is not about this, but your project may be all suppliers, materials, research associate cost, factors for the benefits, your infrastructure cost, your timing of the cost, manpower, honorarium, hiring, or like about travel costs, suppliers, and many others, and the duration. Whatever timeline that you have committed, always respect. Make a buffer. If you said that I'm capable to complete that project within 18 months, give the time to 24 months. If you complete that project 15 months, very good. The company or the sponsor maybe appreciate your efforts, but always achieve the deadlines as per your this proposed timelines. How do you evaluate quality research proposed? Decide that is maybe focus or the feasible. That is not about maybe clear focus and the feasible. Your literatures again and again, I repeat, literature review. And here are the 5 top your researchers or the scientists or the teachers or the corporates, those who have worked in this particular sector. Qualitative research fit for research questions, sample size. You should get, no, my idea is good. My idea is the best. That's why I approach to you. So that is a request to all the researchers. Assessing the research quality or the PI, whenever you file any project, what type of idea you have. I have covered these things. Always take a good PI. Always take the name of the good professors. I think SEG University has the youngest vice chancellor in the country. So same, that person, the name of publication, sorry, number of publication, what type of publications he or she have, number of project completed, and number of patent. So my dear friends, whenever you file any project, these are the secondary things. First, they screen the credentials of that person. And around 70% projects may be failed. I repeat, failed due to these lack of points. We all are not so fortunate that they are associated with good gurus, but I feel more as pride and honor that I'm associated with a lot of gurus. They guide me, educate me to work like this. So these 3, number of publications, number of project completed, and number of patent. So this is the basic quality of the PI and the co-PI. So principal investigators, I said that not only up to 1. That is the benefit to the organization. When the 1 person leave that organization, that project may be shifted to the other side, other organization. So make 2 or 3, 2 co-PIs so that that project may be with that organization. I'm so sorry I have used that word, but the organization provides the opportunity to you to give the name of that organization. So it is our responsibility that we should develop the new leaders. We should develop what is the definition of leadership? Not the courage and all these things. Leadership means to create new leaders. So that's why your team plays a very important role. Yes, there's a one point is about some Indian-centric research foundations, research funds. If you go with AICT side, do not move here and there. And you will find that, okay, AICT-India.org, opportunity student and research funds. Or these are the researching agencies, Atomic Energy Regulatory Board, ARDB, BRNS, CSIR, DRDO, Atomic Agency, DBT, ICMR, ICAR, many others. Here I check the one word. Approach to the state DST as well. I received the first project in my life from EDII, Entrepreneurship Institute of Research, EDI of India, from Ahmedabad, Gujarat. Because they have a fund, but they are not able to find good projects. Apply DST Northeast region. Not DST means not only sorry, not only Delhi, but apply across different state funding agencies. I think the seminar was sponsored by various agencies. That you are so honored that these agencies are accept your request, sponsored you, provide your logo on that particular this the banner. So same approach to others. So, for example, that is a small detail incorporated the sample with your this the reference only. Uncover my presentation within 5 minutes. So that is about some samples. Follow these instructions. 1 page means 1 page. 2 page means not more than 2 page or complete your task within a 1 page. Nation status, importance of the projects, the project location, specific, review status, origin of the proposal. So there is your responsibility. Last one is about half page, 1 page. You should follow these directions. Methodology, maximum 5 pages. And not only that is, you go with only 5 pages. If you are ready to complete your methodology within a 1 page, go ahead. Time schedule with respect to graph, suggestion plan, action plan, and all these things. Summary, roles and responsibilities of PI and the co-PI. Their resumes of the PI and the co-PI. And the last projects that they have received or not. So you should make a one consortium in your university who's responsible, like one consortium for AI, one consortium for electrical, one consortium for mechanical engineers, one consortium for developers. Then you are able to identify these top persons and your Scopus index may be increased at that time. Budget requirement, always remember that project is not only and only this thing, but remember the staff, consumable items, recurring and non-recurring costs, travel, contingency allowances, overhead charges. You should think 10 times that your university provide the space, location, but before filing projects, you should cover these points too with respect to your project funding. Annual progress report, because next year grant, or if the grant is for 1 year, then half-yearly or quarterly, they will access your project. If the 2 years, then half-yearly they access your project. If the duration is 3 years, annually they will access your project. So always make the deadlines, small titles, milestones that you should achieve within a time frame. So that they have the strength. And if you are sometimes down or you are not able to achieve one thing, be honest. So they are ready to extend the amount to the upcoming years. I'm not about the appropriate study design. I'm not about what is the quality of research, means about the methods, questions, subject selection, measurement, outcome, and significance. And simple quality of research means how your idea may be different from the others. There are 2 types of research in our country: parallel research and the sequential research. Nothing else. Sometimes some person design a bulb, some other person design the LED, some person design the LCD. So they are a sequential research or the parallel research. Sequential research, like in US, whenever one person completes the task, second person take the task and stuff. And up to this, then third and fourth and fifth. That is a sequential research. But in our country, maximum researchers, they are more focused towards the parallel research. Some design the pencil, someone design the pencil with the rubber. Some design the pen, then some design pen and pencil. So how your idea may be different with respect to the others. Most important thing, out of the box approach. You are a good fighter. You are the person who always believe in God, believe in your parents, and believe in your gurus. So do background study well, all well. And most important thing is that whenever you define your projects, like tell a story, so some person have a keen interest to listen you and your concept. Some person have an interest that okay, like we have when our dada and dadi grandparents during our this the kids time they tell us the story, then we are keenly interested to listen them up to the end. So enroll your client, involve your person, so they are keenly interested to listen your project from starting to the end. The get started, that is my second last slide about the researchers looking to work in the specific field may wish to investigate agency that work in that field, your area and that area. Earlier we have heard in the Ramayana there is a Swambar. In the today's scenario, there is no Swambar. There is a matrimonial.com. So same Swambar is there right now. So that is the engagement between the two parties, you and the funding agency. And here funding agency is the topmost. And they are able to find around thousands of persons like you and me, but how we are best as compared to the others. Never give up. Whenever you file a project, 5 times or 6 times, don't worry. Give to the next time and secure the funds. Do not blame that the government is not interested to give any funds to the private institution. That is a myth. I'm so sorry. That is a myth. BITS planning. Where is the BITS planning? There is no roads like no national highway roads that we approve to the BITS planning, but they have a corpus of funds. MIT, Manipal and other universities, MET and others. I think host mute me now. So that is from my side. So if you have any question, any points, I'm always available. Again, I thank to all the esteemed professors, the persons who give me this opportunity. My special thanks to Honorable Professor S.N. Singh sir. And these are the some practical realities. We are the teacher. If someone gives us that Newton third law, first law and second law, we follow the law. But how to define that law, how to define with the respect to the examples for the future leader for our country, Mother India as well as Mother Earth, to produce a good human being. With this all, thank you, Dr. Shefali Jain, to provide me this opportunity. Thank you, my professor, Dr. S.N. Singh sir. Thank you, Professor Niti, to introduce me and help me. Thank you, IT team, that you bear me for around 1 year. Sorry, one hour. So thank you all, and thank you, esteemed presenters or the listeners or the researchers. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, sir, for the very insightful guidance. So I thank you, Professor S.N. Singh, sir, and you again to cover every bit and pieces and to motivate us for being a good researchers, and that, sir, and you have given us 3S, that is silence, smile, and smart you have given. So I thank you again and again. And as this is the pandemic time, so I would thank you is not enough. I just wanted to share the felicitation from our side, that is e-felicitation in the form of a certificate. So I would like you to please take this on behalf of SIRT. This one is for you, sir.
Thank you.
And this one, I hope it is visible. And this is for SM Singh, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much
Thank you
for
very
being
much.
here with us. I would like to thank all the participants who have joined all the way long, and this session is very, very fruitful. And I think there are so many takeaways from all of us from this, and we'll again ignite ourselves and we'll start thinking of the research projects in future. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
so
ma'am.
much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.